Okay, the time has come for me to finally put in my order for a C8. But I'm really apprehensive about it because of all the reports I've been getting regarding crazy dealer delivery fees, or in reality, markups, and people telling me I'll have to wait several years for delivery. So I'm going to find out for myself. It's time to order, and I've got my fingers crossed about what I'll find out. But first, I need to work out exactly what I want. So let's get started on that. I've had 8 Corvettes over the years. The C8 will be my 9th. One of these was a straight-out coupe, but this was my drag race car, so it's not really counted. 2 more were Targa tops, but the other 5 are all convertibles. So you can see where my preference lies. And it seems like I'm not the only one who likes C8 convertibles. 42% of buyers chose a convertible during the 2021 model year. Corvette marketing manager Harlan Charles predicts the convertible will take over as the higher selling configuration within a few years. The C8 convertible is doubly desirable as it really gives you the best of both worlds, being a fold-away hardtop. You could make a similar argument for the lift-off roof on the coupe, but for me there's a big difference between just having the roof removed to having the whole lot gone. The lift-off roof is to me just a glorified sunroof. Another minor upside for me is not having the engine on display with the convertible. I think if I had a coupe, I'd be obliged to spend money on engine appearance package items, as the engine bay does look a bit plain without the enhancements. But again, I'll need to check the price and availability when I see the dealer before I make the final choice, but the convertible is on the top of my wish list. The next decision is in regard to the all-new Z06 being recently announced. And what a machine it is. It looks good, it sounds good, and it goes even better. This car certainly overshadows the Stingray, which we all thought was the greatest car we'd ever seen. So should I buy a Stingray or a Z06? There are a couple of things that are different to the Stingray, but the main thing is it will be more expensive. As if the Stingray isn't already expensive enough here in Oz. You could also expect a little bit better daily drivability in the Stingray with better low-end torque, and certainly a smoother ride, as we've been told the Z06 has higher spring rates. There's so far been no official announcement of what the C8 Z06 will cost in the US, but there's a very strong rumour the price has been set at $87,000 US. This makes sense when the C7 Z06 cost $27,000 more than the base Stingray model. This has been reported by Justin on his YouTube channel Horsepower Obsessed. He says he's heard from 2 different salesmen at 2 different dealerships. But this is for a bare bones base Z06. And we can be pretty sure though, through the Stingray experience in Australia, we won't be offered the cheapest configuration. We'll certainly be upgraded to the level 2 trim, which in the case of the Z06 is called 2LZ, not 2LT. And we're also sure to get the front lift package. And there may well be other options as well, mandated on our Australian base level Z06. Without boring you with the mathematics of the pricing, the minimum price I can see for an Australian Z06 would be $172,000. Now, if that sounds a bit cheap to you, it does to me too. A Z06 at well under $200,000 would be an incredibly good buy. There are on-road costs to be added this, of course, which would make the base Z06's on-road cost around $190,000. But there's one more possibility. We in Australia were mandated the Z51 Performance Pack with our entry-level Stingray. So will GM mandate the Z07 Performance Pack with the Australian Z06? This would most likely add some $20,000 to the price, Australian dollars I'm talking, putting it over $210,000 on road, which feels more like the amount I expected a Z06 would cost here. And if you want to make that a convertible, bump the price to $225K. And if you want any options such as wheels, brake calipers, interior colours added or coloured seat belts, you can add even more. Now, I'm not willing to take the chance and put a deposit on a Z06 because if the Z07 package is mandated and I want my convertible, it's more than I want to spend. And I keep reminding myself as well, what a good car that Stingray is. Now finally, I'm going to run through GM's configurator to look at adding some options. Look, I believe I'm kidding myself if I think I can configure the car just how I want it. But I'll go through the exercise anyway. So on my screen I have a 2022 convertible 2LT build, and I've configured that exactly the same as the GMSV base Australian convertible. You can see the US cost is $86,995. In other words, the car's already configured with the 2LT trim, a standard exterior colour, Z51 performance package, magnetic selective ride control, and the front lift with memory. Now I'm going to add a few options of my own to customise the car a little, to make it my own. I'm trying not to spend too much, so I'm really looking out to go for bang for my buck. And note that this is all in US dollars, and I'll look at what that means in Australian dollars a little later. Okay, so first I'm changing the colour to Accelerate Yellow, but unfortunately that comes under the premium paint and adds $500 to the price. The configurator updates to show the new colour. Now I'm adding the Adrenaline Red interior trim colour. I'm sticking with the Mulan leather, which keeps me within the 2LT trim level. The red interior, as shown in the configurator, adds $590 to the price. But note that if I change to Napa leather, the interior updates to 3LT with a significant price increase. I do think this red adds a lot more interest to the interior over the plain black. Now there's no more packages I want to add over what's already in there, so I'm going to move on to the exterior section. Here I'm changing to the carbon flash wheels. I like this look a lot better, and it costs $995. And to add further to the look around the wheels, I'm going to go for bright red painted brake calipers at $595. There's nothing more here that I want, so I'm going to move to the interior section. And in here you'll see the opportunity to change the black seatbelt colour, and I'm going to change that to yellow. This costs $395. Okay, so now you can see the yellow belts. I don't want to add any accessories as such, but here's a little tip for you. Whatever you buy here, because it's added to the total cost of the car, and the car's already subject to the luxury car tax, 33%, anything that you add to the car at this stage will also be subject to 33% luxury car tax. So unless you want it really badly, it's best to buy it separately and put it on the car afterwards. Now we've got the summary, and the new price comes up at US $90,070. And this means my options cost $3,075. I think this is pretty good value, even when you look at it in Australian dollars. The equivalent Australian price is found by currency converting this to Australian dollars, adding 10% GST, then adding 33% luxury car tax to all of that. If you do the math, it's close enough to double the US dollars. That's a pretty easy calculation. So with that 3,000 some US dollars that I've added in options, it's going to mean that it's about $6,000 additional to the Australian convertible price of $160,000. So I should be looking at around 166,000 Australian dollars, probably a little more, plus on-road costs, of course. So there's the car I'd like to get. I know I'm being optimistic, but I guess the longer you wait to put the order in, the more likely it is you can actually get a car that you've specified. But I guess I'll find out more about that when I go and talk to the dealer. So what will I pay? In a previous video of mine called GMSV C8 Price Reveal, I ran through the on-road costs associated with putting a C8 on the road in Australia on top of the GMSV recommended retail price, the RRP. While it's still a little over the odds, I stated that an all-inclusive price for the base C8 coupe of around $160,500 would be a fair price to pay. Adding $15,000 for the convertible, a fair price to pay on road would be around $175,500. So what do you think of my chances of getting one for that price? With the options I've added, the price moves up another 6,000 Australian dollars, let's say 6,500, getting the total up to $182,000. So that's what I'll be looking for. My next step is to visit a dealer, or maybe more than one, equipped with all the information I've just put together. I'll come back to you in a couple of weeks and tell you what happened with the dealer, and then you'll know a little bit more about buying a C8 in Australia right now. Thanks for watching my video. Make sure you tune in again in 2 weeks' time when I'll tell you what happens when I go to the GMSV dealer. But I must let you know I'm not really chasing an Accelerate yellow Corvette. I'm keeping my actual colour combination a secret for now. I'll show you what it is later. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help the channel. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to receive a written notification every time a new video is posted. But for now, everybody keep on vetting, and I hope to join you again real soon.